Hi, I'm Sarah, and we're going to try and develop a clear way of looking at your future potential. To become what you want to become and to have the success in life that you're dreaming of, a clear mind and a controlled mind will be necessary. Before we begin, take a few minutes to settle into a chair or wherever you feel comfortable. And don't forget to practice your belly breathing to slow down the amygdala or your emotional brain so that the rest of you can concentrate on what you need to do. Think about why you've chosen this meditation, this mindfulness focus. What is it about your future potential you haven't grasped, you don't know, or you're desiring? Think about how your belly, chest, and head each feel when you reflect on this topic, the emotions you can associate with these thoughts. Remember the positive or negative impact of any story you believe in regarding your potential sets the scene. The fact that many others are feeling similar about potential can be comforting. You are not alone. Think about how you might feel with an increased awareness around your future potential and how you could apply this day in, day out. Let's begin. In this exercise, I'm going to show you how focusing can help you become whatever you want to be, rather than simply reacting to the stress of work, news, relationships, and responsibilities. By now, you might be starting to feel a little more comfortable with these meditation focus exercises, and perhaps you're starting to understand the future potential of having a calm and clear mind and investing in your thought process. For example, let's think. What would it be like if you weren't worried about your work, your career, your relationships, or even your mortgage? What would it be like not to feel overwhelmed all the time or tired from the responsibilities and tasks you have to do? What if, instead of feeling overwhelmed or bored or stressed, you were able to step back and say, "Oh, okay, I get it. That's overwhelm." Or maybe, I see you there. That's worry. Perhaps maybe even saying, that's stress. I've got this. Naming and noticing how you feel are a great way to diffuse the intensity and a simple way to get clarity of what is happening so that you can focus on what you need to do next. Rather than saying, "I am stressed," rather than feeling as though you're in the middle of stress, just recognize that it is stress and it's okay. All it is a thought or a feeling. It is not a predictor of your life. For some of you, that may sound a little odd, a little woo-woo perhaps, and you might think, yeah, but you don't know my crazy situation. Well, you're right, I don't. But remember, it's really important to see that practicing clarity takes time and change needs practice. But it does happen. Change is possible as long as you dedicate yourself to the process. Your future potential is within that change. People who are successful at what they do make it a habit of a lifetime, not a spur-of-the-moment wish, or at least a strong habit for some years. We're not just talking about doing better at work or feeling less stressed. This is about living on your own terms. This is about choosing how awake and present you want to be for the life you're living right now. This is about enhancing your presence, your wisdom, your compassion, your potential, and your effect on the world inside of you and around you. This is about developing clarity and calmness so you can be the absolute best of your ability. How do you want to be when you're older? Mindful, clear, capable? Every time you realize you're distracted and you're taking the time to acknowledge it, something is changing. Not only in thoughts and consciousness, but also in the brain itself. If you experience stress, feel overwhelmed or anxiety a lot, then it will be really uncomfortable, and you'll probably want to get as far away from those feelings as possible. And that is understandable. It's also really important to acknowledge that you can't stop negative feelings. They are part of our DNA. Everybody's tried to, and it doesn't work that way. What you can do is develop a different type of relationship with your emotions, where you eventually feel at ease with knowing how you feel, and potentially can even start to embrace it as a further way of understanding your mind and the power that you have. So, as you move through your day today, remember that idea of being aware. Simply being aware. Be present for the sensations in your body. Be open to naming and noticing those stressful feelings. Whenever you remember to do this, it's quite an amazing thing, because all of a sudden you're actually present. And when you do this, you can cut through the negative feed loop. You step out of the loop of thinking, which fuels the emotions of stress and overwhelm. And instead, you're actually present with your body and what you're doing. Clarity can move in. On the one hand, it's a very ordinary feeling, and yet on the other hand, it's an extraordinary feeling, because we experience it so rarely, that calm clarity. Just remembering to be present, simply being aware, is part of our future potential. Well done. Let's just go over what we've talked about. If you experience stress, are easily overwhelmed or anxious, then it is uncomfortable, and you'll probably want to get as far away from it as possible. And that's okay. But is it also really important to acknowledge that you can't stop negative emotions? They are part of who we are. What you can do is develop a different type of relationship to it. Make these feelings and emotions your friend. Embrace them as part of who you are. Think of it as different ways that your mind is reading signals. Don't forget that stress unresolved isn't good for us, but stress problem solved has many benefits physically and emotionally. We don't need to fear our emotions, we just need to understand their context. As you move through your day to day, remember that the idea of being aware, simply being aware, develops a calm and clear mind, and in that way you can make the decisions, you can guide yourself towards the future potential you're seeking, without the distraction, the hurdles and the setbacks of having your emotions block your ambitions, your ability and your potential. Now it's time for you to get back into your life and practice clarity of mind and seek the goals and success you're dreaming of.